PB, which may or may not. I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does happen, I would like. You never. I was very surprised to PB today. I will say that. I was extremely surprised. I was not expecting that at all. I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. My name is SchalaKitty. I am here to play Haven, which is a absolutely wonderful indie game put out by the Game Bakers at the end of 2020. It then got itself a update last year in 2022 to take this from a story of one couple to a story of one couple with 3 variations. So the first thing we need to do is we need to know which variation of K and U are we playing. Alright, let's go lesbians. So, as we're getting started, before we actually start the run, the very first thing we do is we set the difficulty to reduced. This is going to make our run a lot smoother, allows us to do... gives us a bit more margin of error of some of the movement tricks we'll be doing, as well as making all of the fights safer. So if we are all good to go, I will go ahead and call for the start of time. So time will begin in 3, 2, 1. Yes.
Apple juice.
Anyway, what I usually tell people is right at the start of the game is the most important thing you need to know about Haven is this is Kay, this is you, and they are in love. Which the whole game sets up for you in the very first minute. Yes. So Kay and you are here on this mysterious planet called Source. And we are being introduced to Haven's movement mechanics. One of the most wonderful things about Haven is this wonderful gliding motion that you have for getting around. The game was heavily influenced by Flower. If you've ever played that wonderful indie game, they want to have that same sort of like very fun floaty feeling.
Drifting is that useful?
It's crucial. 1 or 2 more threads, and we'll be all set. All right, I'm all charged up. Whoop.
Thank you. Now we have the introduction to Haven's cooking and crafting system. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no. I ate it. That's okay. It's fast enough to fix that. I don't think I can fix... Oh, wait, I can cook right now. Haha! Fix! Not... Put in fridge. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. No, I'm good. Nah. Yeah, we only need 2 dishes for the whole game. Yeah, you need to eat 1. Yeah, you have to eat 1 for that first cutscene, and then the second one we'll be saving for later for a friend. But yes. Oh, is the wait, hold up. Chat saying the audio's off?
Do you remember where the
Hold
apple
up.
juice were?
I can fix this very quickly. Give me 1 second. You all are very kind. All right. I'm probably going to have to just do that. Cool. We're good.
Could we try and pick some?
Hopefully you
Lovely.
can now hear our wonderful everyone else.
Bonjour. Or bonsoir.
You
I'm
should
not
probably
sure.
all introduce yourselves now that everyone can hear you.
Oh, could they not hear us before?
Apparently they could not.
Okay,
Chat,
gotcha.
can you hear everyone? There's should be multiple people you can hear now.
Yes. So I'll just, I don't think I'd introduce myself yet anyway, but yes, Schala has 2 commentators. We are not ghosts, speaking from the void. My name is Happy Bear, and I'm also a Haven speedrunner. And I really adore this game, and I'm always so grateful when Schala invites me to help commentate for Zero.
Yay. And I'm Blooper, or Bloops for short. Works really well. I'm not a runner of the game. I helped routing it initially when it got released, and that's pretty much it. And I just love this game so much, and I just love being around these lovely people that are with me today.
But anyway, we kind of kicked off the actual plot of Haven. Our beautiful little spaceship house, the Nest, got wrecked in an earthquake, and so now we have to figure out how do we get back there.
That way.
But as we're doing that, we discovered this strange pollution called rust. So we had to collect up lots of rust because we're going to be using it for our crafting and for our spaceship repairs.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we'll be gathering 3 different types of rusts, being crude rusts, fine rust, and can't remember the last one.
Shiny.
Rust. Shiny rust.
The shiny rust.
Which is the rarest.
It is the rarest indeed, and because it's the rarest, it's also the one that we'll be using the less. But well, the whole routing of Haven relies hugely around finding enough rust to do, as Kella said, both the repairing the spaceship and also using it for crafting. So it's a major point of the route.
It absolutely is, and there's a lot that we're doing here that you may not be noticing. So we need exactly 7 rust in order to progress to the next part of the speedrun. And so Scala's running a very, again, optimized route to get those 7 pieces of rust. And it has to be crude rust. It cannot be fine rust or shiny rust.
Yep.
Our poor Nest is all messed up.
I know,
Our girls
but
are sad.
they are, but they're cuddling. They've got each other, and they're going to get through this because they're so in love.
Yes.
Haven is really all just about the power of love. And you don't need no
definitely
credit
is.
card to ride this trade. That's a joke for me. Oh, good. Okay.
GG joke.
Good. We have our snack in the bag. That's where we want it to be. So we're all good.
Another major mechanic that we use in this run is the fast forward
Yes.
button for just kind of plowing through those conversations, because if we didn't, then we just have to mash manually, and it's a lot slower. We still mash through the conversations even with fast forward, but the fast forward just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
It also doesn't make it so you hear the very first syllable of each line.
Right.
That's how I tell that I've forgotten fast forward. I mean, obviously it has the visual overlay, but also if I start hearing the first syllables, I'm like, oh, whoops.
Not for long.
Which is a great cue, actually.
I was practicing earlier about how good the sound design of this game
It could always
is.
be useful.
Yeah.
This game has, ooh, good. That was a nice one. Anyway, hey, it's time to get to the RPG part of Haven.
This one's mine. All right.
So-
That's it.
Yeah.
This one's mine.
All right, so basically we have two ways to fight. As you see, we are controlling both characters at the same time. And they have two types of attacks. They have the impact, which again, correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a long time. Impact is a contact attack, and you have the blast, which is a how do we say?
Long range.
Exactly, thank you. Long range attack. Yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm not an English native. If that didn't sound it obvious already. So some enemies will be weak to only a certain type of attack. So we need to make sure that we're not only are we using the right one, but the right one on the right enemy. And the great thing about Haven is that basically we are not beating the enemies, we are pacifying them because
Yes.
they've been corrupted by the pollution, so the rust that's been spreading around the different islets of source. So we're just like basically saving our lovely friends.
I need to figure out if there's a good way to manip the AI to getting that rust for me.
Yeah, that's a good question. I was kind of working on that today, actually, and I think you can. You just have to time the
Turn.
the skid
Yeah.
just right.
Yeah, one thing that I think we didn't mention is that when we are collecting rust, both characters are. So if the second character is a bit far from the other one, the rust will still be collected.
He's too impervious.
So this is our first boss. This is Big Fry. Big Fry is, you know, your first big challenge in the game. This is where you learn how to do duo attacks. We're doing a little corner Casey thing, where we're combining duo attacks with rush mode to give them a nice big damage boost. You're not technically supposed to be able to do this, but you know what? The game allows it, so we're
doing it.
We're just going to cheese him.
Yeah, it's so interesting that rush mode can be used to really handle a lot of different enemies very quickly, and that is a hugely important step.
I'm going to just double check my inventory because okay, good.
You're good.
I had a run go sideways, like practice go sideways earlier today, having forgotten one piece. So I was making sure, but we're all good. We're all good.
We're all good.
We're all
Also,
good.
here's the radar.
That way we can map out the
It's very helpful when you're playing casually. We don't need it in the speedrun because we know exactly where we're going.
Yeah, basically, so source is just divided into
Come on.
a fair amount of little islets, and it's really easy to lose tracks on where you are and where you want to go. And as you saw, we're taking some flow bridges that are linking each islet to one to another. And the radar, so basically the map, is really convenient during a casual playthrough. But since it's a speed run, Scala knows exactly where she needs to go.
Yep. So we don't need to use it. It's very cool though. I really do like the radar. I
Yep.
mean, it is something where I'll say this is like a fair criticism of Haven is that some of the maps can be like pretty samey.
Yeah,
You kind of
very
get but as you're like each one is its own like unique little thing, and you get used to that as you play. But like there still is like a certain amount of you have to really be paying attention to what are the like unique features of each islet. And you kind of get used to that, as you're going. Whoa! I almost.
Ooh! Wow!
We're fine.
That was lucky.
That was
Yes.
lucky. The
Definitely was.
saved by the thread tackiness. Hooray!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The hardest thing in this game is basically managing to properly get on the flow thread.
It is a
That
very.
looks somewhat forgiving.
Oh well, that's what we sort of mentioned this earlier. We're running on reduced difficulty mode. One of the things it does is it makes it easier to hop on flow threads, which comes in very handy because later on in the game we have to do some pretty tricky aerial maneuvers, and having that extra bit of safety really helps.
Yes.
Because I played this game casually on normal difficulty, and there are some tricks I could not pull off until I switched to reduce. I could probably pull them off now on normal, but it's like, I don't want to have to give myself the headache.
Makes sense.
If I was to do... Oh, go ahead, Happy.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think that running on the reduced difficulty actually allows more focus on the mechanics and the movement of the run, instead of just worrying about having to, stay on a flow thread or fight a really hard boss or something like that. It allows us to really kind of just lose ourselves in the game, and I like that.
Okay.
It's very true.
Oh, it's my handbrake. I don't have to mash this. You can't skip this cutscene.
That's the only unskippable cutscene of the game. Please enjoy.
Please enjoy the random blue beams shooting into the sky.
Yeah, so...
There's a reason for that.
What happened plot-wise is we should probably actually explain, Kay and you kind of left behind an authoritarian society to be together. Which is in the background of the game, but, we're skipping through all the cutscenes.
Oh, cool.
And they might have just, activated some old machinery. It's fine. By the way, you could do... This is a fun trick.
Well, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Mm-hmm. Alright, let me make sure. This is our friend Burble, by the way. She's very cute and sweet. I'm making sure that I'm not, having... We're not going to have a time with Burble right now. Burble time will be later.
Yep.
On your mark.
Every time is verbal time.
Anytime could definitely be Burble time.
Ready when you are.
I will tell you, if you... Do you want to know the Burble Easter egg?
Done and done.
There's
Yeah,
a purple
by all
Easter
means.
egg.
There is a Burble Easter egg. The Burble Easter egg is because we'll I don't mind giving this part away later. The way you kind of coax Burble into being helpful is by feeding her. If you feed her what is, some one of the most expensive in quotation marks, because there's no actual money in Haven, because we don't care about capitalism. We left that all behind.
In a little better shape.
What a wonderful game.
If you feed her one of the rarest dishes in the game, creamberry fondue, you get a special Easter egg. That's all I will say.
I didn't knew about that.
I did not know about that either.
I will have to check.
Well, I only know about it because I 100%ed this game, and that was like one of the requirements.
Go, go, go!
Okay. So this is Nock. Nock is supposed to be teaching us about, like, shielding and timing our attacks. We don't care about that. We're just going to one-shot it, hopefully. Sort of listening for my audio cue. And we're good! We're all done.
Lovely.
Nice.
GG.
Textbook cheese right there, cheesing the game mechanics, and Nock looks much friendlier now that he's not full of rest.
Nock is now a friend. That is actually one of the nice things about Haven is you can just go and interact with any docile creature. They're all friends.
Wow. Whee.
Alright. There we go. We've got the nozzle.
Yeah, and just so chat realize how impressive this is, because it still amazes me as of today, even though I saw that like so many times. Basically, this is supposed, as Schala said, to be the fight where you learn how to use shields and protect your characters and stuff. And this first boss fight is like a really scary fight casually. And it's a really, really tricky one. And the fact that we managed to, let's say, cheese this fight by having 3 layers of, how do we say,
Damage
buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is definitely not intended, but it's so we do it. But this is really impressive, and it's actually really tricky in terms of timing. Because timing the third buff, which is making sure that Nock is vulnerable, is extremely tricky. It's only a few frames window.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's time for spicy tax. We have to explain what
Spicy
spicy
tax!
tax is.
Spicy tax.
Et bravo les lesbiennes!
So Haven, as you could probably have seen, features a whole bunch of different loading screens. The one that we just saw there is the one we call the spicy one. I have a lot of thoughts about this. My thoughts are generally that, you know what, this is a mature-rated game. They wanted it to be mature-rated so that way they could talk about a couple, again, very much in love, and part of that is sexuality. And this is just sort of like the way we end up seeing it in the speedrun. And you know what? There are people who speedrun horror games of all sorts of, violent, terrible things, and they don't apologize for what's in their game, so I'm not going to apologize for what's in mine. Anyway, you're just all going to have to deal with some spice. But what we do here on the Haven Cutie Couch is we make a donation for everyone that we see. So we're up to one, and we're doing $5 per one, right?
$5, yeah.
And I'm keeping tracks.
Okay, good.
Just so you know, so you don't have to worry about it.
Fabulous.
Is it just one
Perfect.
single loading screen that is the spicy tax
Yeah,
loading screen?
only one is spicy.
Hey, I know this place.
And the thing is, and this is the fun thing, when you're running one of the same gender couples, they have fewer loading screens as compared to the original hetero couple. So because of that, we get the spicy a lot more often.
Yes. Like you have less variations of the different loading screens, so yeah, that makes more chances for the spicy one to appear.
So what I'm hearing is, thanks again to everyone who donated to see explicitly this couple in Haven. You have also made a smart financial decision on behalf of the Samaritans.
You have! Oh, hey, that was a gold
Exactly.
split. That was nice.
Oh, GG!
Hey, that's wonderful.
Alright, we have to go do some crafting. So we sort of had the cooking system earlier, and the crafting system works the same way, where we're sort of using both sides of the controller at the same time. What do you have, Happy Bear?
I was just gonna talk a little bit about flow bursting. So, you're gonna see Schala charging up the characters, and the characters will have kind of this blue energy in their hand. That is what we call flow burst, and not only can that open doors, it can also knock back dangerous enemies. It can help us to collect rust that is to either side of us that we're not actively touching. It's a very powerful technique that is quite useful during the speedrun to make sure that we don't have to waste time detouring to different pockets of rust.
Alright. It's time for the one time I slow down the cutscene. Except for that little part. Here.
All right, you can open your eyes. Surprise anniversary!
Happy surprise anniversary!
Surprise anniversary!
Surprise anniversary!
So what we just did is we unlocked the leveling system. However, we don't need it in the speedrun, so we're just gonna go. No leveling up for us.
I actually wondered, and I will need to check when I will be
Okay.
replaying this game, but how did the surprise anniversaries
Alright,
translated in
let's hop on a few threads
French?
to practice.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yes.
You know what I should do? I've been trying my best to learn Japanese. I should
Another one.
replay Haven in Japanese.
Oh,
With
you
Japanese
definitely should.
subtitles.
Well, if the Japanese language is available,
It is!
definitely share it.
Oh yeah, no, the
Easy to
Japanese
view.
subtitles are available. There's no like voiceover. There's only English voiceover.
Yeah.
for-
Even us in French didn't got one because the game is a French game, by the way. So that's also why I'm here. I'm the like Team France representation, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
But yeah, like we didn't had a voiceover of the game for the sole fact that there are so many
more
cutscenes and
spice.
spicy attacks.
I see.
Spicy tax.
That's two. But yeah, there are so many dialogues and voice lines basically that
yeah.
they couldn't afford having two dubs, so they went straight to just keeping English.
Which, I mean, to be fair, the voice acting in this game is great. I am sad we don't get to hear a lot of it, and all 4 main voice actors are fabulous.
Definitely.
They are.
Especially, I will give a special shouts to female K and male U's voice actors, because they had to record this during the pandemic.
Very true.
So they had to, you know, rig up like home studios and stuff to record this game, and they did a fabulous job with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're kind of backtracking a little bit. What we did is we sort of took a little break. We got some spaceship parts. We're going to need to gather all the parts we need to repair the nest before we can end the game.
Did you feel that?
But now we're going to go do some plot. And why we're doing plot now is Haven's actually has a hunger system built into it. So we have about a half hour from when we start the game until the hunger debuff kicks in. Runs about like a half hour or so. Which when you're playing is like casually, like you have to manage hunger a whole bunch. We don't have to worry about that here in the speed run though. Because we get all of our sort of required boss fights out of the way, and then the last required fight we have after that, you're fine even with the hunger debuff.
Yes.
You'll see.
And
We'll see, we'll see. But now we have to go do plot. I actually kind of like the way this is set up, where you kind of have just like a little bit of like side questing, and then it's like, okay, now it's time for like a big chunk of plot, and then more side questing, and then more plot. It's a nice rhythm.
Yep.
Alright, so this is boss fight number 3. We're gonna fight the Hornets. The Hornets are basically robot cops. Oh, hello? So I need serious time. 1 second. Okay, we're good.
Lovely.
Yeah, the
Perfect.
the only tricky thing is
Focus and don't come back.
knowing what attack gets like off from the Hornets. Because it looks almost the same for the 2 different attacks. And we're good. We want to be punched in the face. Being punched in the face is the preferable option.
Rust.
of course.
So yeah, the Hornet fights, apart from the different,
There's still
let's say,
more.
secret enemies and bosses, is by far the hardest fight of the game. So it comes quite early, as you could usually expect from an RPG. And yeah, as Kella said, there are some robotic cops of some sort who just came from our home planet to try to get us back there.
Yes, they come.
And they are the only enemies that we actually beat and not just pacify, because you can't
Well,
pacify them.
Yeah, also they're robots, so it's fine. It's that,
Exactly.
It's that whole, you know, violence against robots is fine rule.
Exactly.
Hi, Yummy.
Hey.
But now we're kind of worried because, yeah, like there's robot cops after us now. This ain't good. So
This ain't good.
This ain't good. So
Come on, let's keep going.
we're trying to find a relay station where they must be getting their orders from. So that's what we're kind of searching for right now. But before we get there, we have boss fight number 4. This is actually our last boss fight. And I know this guy looks like a big silly turkey, but his boss fight is actually kind of tricky.
This
So,
might be a good time to test the capsules that we put together.
because we have these ads with
You'll
us.
have to explain to me how they work.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's easy. First, you load up the capsule, then you just need to activate
okay.
it. This
Of course I get belly flopped.
Okay,
The belly
get
flop
it.
is
Joke
it's
time
and
is
it's
over.
RNG whether he
Oh, no.
belly flops or not.
Shoot. I'm just going to get the impact off.
That was bad.
Okay,
That didn't seem to bother him much.
okay, we're good.
Really
We
good.
recovered.
Yeah, good. GG.
Yep.
Nice.
Clean
Yeah,
squad
so what we
field.
want to have happen is the belly flop. So you can see that's what's called a knockout attack. Enemies can temporarily knock K and U like out of the fight, and it like resets their turn timer. Like Haven does actually have like a sort of like an active time system under the hood. Just to use like Final Fantasy terminology, where there is like a timing to everything. I will say, like, that was, for me, someone who has played a whole bunch of RPGs, learning Haven's timing system for the fights was actually one of the hardest things for me to do casually. Because
I can very much imagine.
Yeah, because it's not something that's indicated very... You kind of have to, like, just get, like, a feeling for it. I know
you have no cue or no indication whatsoever, so it's just getting used to it.
It makes me think of, Mother 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, where it has that rhythm system where it's not really, like, communicated to you as the player very directly, but if you can hit things on rhythm, you get bonuses. So Haven kind of has this very interesting kind of, like, natural rhythm to it that you kind of have to get, like, in the vibe with. To be fair, one of the things about reduced difficulty is it actually slows down the enemies' timers. That's how we're able to kind of pull stuff off. That's also why knock takes as long as it does to charge up their attack. Oh no! Hey, I got caught on the rocks.
It's so obnoxious.
It is, yeah, this one particular, like, section is oddly obnoxious for getting in there. Anyway, we found the video relay. We're going to talk to Yu's mom, because turns out Yu's mom is an arch-capitalist.
Boo!
Boo capitalist!
Don't you hate it when...
I mean, one of the things that I actually will give credit to the game when you're playing casually and you have more time with it, is they actually do kind of address, like, Yu's classism. Like, it comes up in this fight. Hey, so now Kay and you are going to get into a big argument because it turns out Yu has been hiding a secret from Kay, which is that Yu, oh, we didn't talk about betrothals and marriages and stuff.
No.
There's a lot to talk about in this game.
There's so much to talk about in this game. In the society that Kay and you come from, the apiary, all marriages are decided by a system called the matchmaker, which pairs people up. Kay was just paired up with, like, a completely normal person. I always find it, I like it that in all versions, Kay is always paired up with a woman.
Oh.
Yeah, that's always true.
Expected, but nice still.
Yeah, so Kay's always paired up with a lady. She's paired up with another scientist. Yu, however, was paired up with one of the leading politicians of the apiary, Lord Ozius. Who is, he's a terrible guy. He's the jerk in chief. We don't like him. No one likes him.
Nope.
And, you never told Kay about this. And Kay is like, well, I kind of would have liked to have known that we are going up against, you know,
the government?
The government! Oh, spicy time.
Spicy
number 3.
Also, I will show off one of my favorite bits of gameplay and story integration. I can't use my radar right now because it's on Yu's side of the controller, and Yu's not here. So yeah, she's missing. Kay is really upset. Luckily, Kay figures out where Yu is. So we're good. As it turns out, Yu went back to the communication relay to try and contact her mom. But then Yu, like, was feeling really guilty about everything. And then there was a giant earthquake, and now the island is broken in half, and Yu is trapped on the other side, and that's why she hasn't been able to come home. I just love this little sassy bit.
This part actually is heartbreaking.
It is, because this is Kay and Yu's first big fight.
Yeah.
And the thing with the fight sequence, like in the speedrun, we just double down. We get real big mad at it just because it ends the fight the fastest. But when you're playing this game casually, oh, that sequence, like, it hurts because you, as the player, you can't stop that fight. You cannot do anything to stop it. You can try to mitigate the worst of it, but it doesn't matter. Like, the worst of both Kay and Yu come out in it. And I have a lot of thoughts about, like, writing characters with flaws. I I like the argument scene because it highlights K and U's flaws, which is, you know, that K can be very patronizing, which for you, who's someone who she grew up with like really controlling parents, like immediately sets her off and makes her defensive. And in turn, like when you gets mad, like she will like, you know, just aim for like a verbal gut punch at you. Sometimes a literal gut punch at you. Because she, you know, she knows exactly like what buttons to hit for someone.
Yep.
And she doesn't hold back, and like Kay calls her out on it. Which, you know, I agree that Kay should. And I'm glad that, like I said, if you play this game casually, there is the option where Kay and you kind of have like the chance to like work through some of Yu's issues. Oh wait, do I get door skip? I should be able to get door skip. Yeah, door skip.
Door skip.
GG.
Door skip is there's a like literal like 2-second cutscene to look at a big door. You can skip it, and it doesn't, like I said, it only saves like about 2 seconds. It's more a matter of pride to get it than any major time save.
Some things are just ethically required in
Yes.
speedruns. Completely
Exactly.
understandable.
Yes. Yeah, I do like that they kind of like address like some of Yu's like issues in the casual playthrough. Which is good. I'm glad that they kind of like deal with it. You know, they kind of dealing with the fact that Kay and you come from two very different classes. Anyway, our girls are back together again! Yay! They're gonna smooch and make up! They're gonna touch each other's butts!
Sounds like a plan to me.
I mean, I love that scene because it's like you makes like the most, like they make like the most like sweet like love confessions, and then at the end, Yu's just like, you can stop touching. Whoa, my flow. Hello? My burst didn't go off the way I thought it was. It's okay. But yeah, like they make like these really like touching confessions to one another, and then afterwards, like Yu's like, you know, Kay, you can stop touching my butt, and Kay's like, no. Like,
Couldn't
perfect.
agree more.
Perfect. But that's really, I like, it is like this shame that we don't get to really talk about like the writing in Haven, because the writing in Haven is really, really good.
Yes.
Like, as someone who loves like domestic romance stories enough that I like made an interactive fiction game out of one,
Okay,
like
now
it
I'm
made me so happy to play Haven and have that experience. And like the writers have talked about how like one of the things that they find kind of, what's the right term I'm looking for, lacking in like games is like, even if you're playing like say like a dating sim, that's still like the starting point of a relationship, right?
Yep.
It's not like the establishment point where, you know, they've been living together and sort of, you know, starting to understand how this is going to work as a couple. And to be fair, like Kay and you are still kind of early on in things. And it's unclear like how much they were doing beforehand, like as an actual couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's never...
Go ahead, Bloop.
Yeah, I was just about to say, as far as I can remember, it's never actually clearly mentioned.
Yeah, we get a mention of like when they fell in love.
Yeah.
Which I do love that cutscene. That cutscene is so cute. Like that you fell in love with Kay, brought her cookies to make her feel better. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
Oui.
And then Kay jokes that well, not jokes, but it's like Kay like had like love at first sight with you, and then Yu's just like, oh, so you only like me for my looks then, huh? Poor Kay's just like, there's no right answer. This is a trap.
It definitely is.
Oh, I've been trying to get this little thread here because the thread tackiness is enough that you can climb up here. But I completely did not get that movement right. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Boop.
I have it on good authority that it's okay.
But that's what a lot of like Haven speedrunning is.
Okay,
It's a lot of
let's
these
get to
sort
work.
of like micro. Oh, just
Hey,
clip
you.
right through
How
Daiko.
nice that you came to visit.
Yeah, it really relies around super tight and precise optimizations, especially on the movements. And it can be really tricky to actually, how do we say?
Optimize?
Yeah, I was looking for another word, but I can't find it. So optimize will be a good one.
Streamline?
Optimize the whole, maybe.
Yeah.
I just can't even find the word in French. So
Oh wow, you know it's a difficult thing when you can't find the word in French.
I know, right? Well, I'm just blaming the fact that it's 2:30 in the morning.
I know. Thank you
and
so
voila.
much for staying up late with
I,
us.
it,
Yeah,
hey,
wow.
it's all right. No worries. I just took a nap like from 8 to 10:30, 11 something. So
See, that's danger territory for me. I'll just fall asleep.
Same.
All right, let's
Same.
see if I can
I'm
get.
a late bird. It's fine.
I used to be, but then I won't get into the whole thing. But having to stay at the hospital for a decent amount of time resets
Yeah.
your clock because
shouldn't be
they
much
wake you
longer.
up early at the hospital. We'll just
Very
leave
true.
it at that.
So?
Anyway, Burble's back.
Yay!
Burble's back, and we're gonna fly on her. Hayla, Hayla. Burble's
Yay.
back.
So yeah,
Whoa.
Burble, which we met already earlier in the game, basically is our fast traveling system. So the first travel is free, but then, as we said, you will have to feed her some delicious food. So she accepts
Burble, are you
to
sticking
move
around?
from one place to another.
We might be able to help you
Also,
with the
she will be traveling only on islets which are fully cleared of the rust.
Yep, she's very particular. Also, I'm real sad we got the I didn't get the Burble cutscene glitch in my
Glitch.
practices. Also, spicy tax.
Yep, I did.
All right. But we're almost done with our little side questing section where we've been going around and collecting spaceship parts.
Yep.
We got the last
One thing-
one.
That was the last one.
Well, the last one for like this short section of like gathering parts. We still have to find the wing.
turbine doing its thing?
Yeah, but that's like on the way to basically the end of the game.
Yep.
So-
Where's she spawning? There she is.
But yeah, something that we didn't mention is each and every time you find and gather a piece of the nest, you are automatically sent back to the nest. That is because when the game was developed, it was assumed that the reparations would be done through the course of the game. In our case, we routed the whole thing around this constraint, but we'll be fixing the whole nest like all at once.
Also, hey, it's the door we skipped. Kay, open the door. Good job, Kay.
Bravo!
Bravo. Now she's going to
GG.
science at us. So, I'm very sad we don't get to have a lot of Kay science time.
What was that you picked?
Because we don't, we skip all the cutscenes. But, Kay as a scientist will gladly tell you all about science. I have to admit, one of the things that I really do like about the writing is that Kay and you get to take turns being the smart one. Because they're smart about different things.
True.
So, Kay is very smart about biology, because that's what she studied. And comparatively, you is very smart about mechanics, because that's what she studied. So, it really makes, they both have opportunities to show off, being smart. And by the same... Oh, good job, you picked up that rust for me. I wasn't even going to bother with it, but she got it.
Nice.
But by the same token, they also each get to take turns being the silly one or being the funny one. And they're funny and silly in different ways, which I think is very, a good thing. Kay has her way of she likes to do play acting and do silly voices, whereas you has more of that sort of sharp, dry sense of humor. But that's good though.
It's a very difficult balance to strike, honestly, to have two characters who are so similar in some ways and yet so different in the way that they express those similarities. And I really just have to give kudos to the writers. They knocked it out of the park here with this game.
Yeah, they did an amazing job.
And it helps that a lot of your sort of reward for doing well in Haven is just getting more cutscenes. Also, hey, it's Ozius.
Boo!
Yes.
That is not who I was picturing.
Tout le monde te déteste!
I mean, I will give Ozius a slight bit of credit. He does have a very cool character design, but that's about all I will say that is positive about Ozius. I do like his character design.
That's about all I like about Ozius.
Wait, his voice acting is also very good. Like, you have to give his voice actor credit, because his voice actor, like, nails the sort of, like, high-class but creepy vibe he has.
It's very true.
And, you know, so he, like, in that whole cutscene, what basically happened is, Ozius, in no particular order, creeped on you, said that he's coming to arrest us, and that if we don't accept being arrested, and, you know, accept his terms, which is getting you to marry him, he's just gonna brainwash our girls. It ain't good times. He's out here doing, like, real antagonist stuff.
I mean, nice people don't do that.
No.
So by definition, we hate Ozias. Boo!
Boo! Yes.
But they do. You know, one of the things is that you know, Haven is completely confined to source. You know, we never, other than one particular instance, we never see the apiary at all. And so they had to kind of communicate, you know, to you, the player. Ooh, that was probably a little riskier than I should have done.
That was bold. That was bold, Schala.
That was bold. That was me having faith in faith in the tackiness.
I have to say, I think I missed at least one heartbeat, maybe two.
Well, I want to experiment. I want to see, like, how much can you stretch the thread tackiness? Because I feel that would be... I know, it's so risky, but I'm like, you have to take some risks.
True.
I think that there's some time save in this run to be had overall from pushing the tackiness to its limits.
Yes, because there's a lot of times where the tackiness is very wibbly wobbly, and if you can figure out the places where you can cut straight through, I think that would be an interesting way to save time. Anyway, hey, we're in the endgame area. You can tell it's the endgame area because everything is red and the music's in a minor key now. Also, we never talked about the music in this game.
The music is so freaking good!
It's incredible.
The music is
like
by Danger.
Yeah, like the whole OST is done by Danger, who already worked on the game backer's previous game, which was Fury. And they just nailed the whole thing. Like, you managed to have all the emotions in a single soundtrack. It's just so fantastic. I love it so much.
Larudo got a little close there. A little too close there for me.
Yeah, that was... We're living on the edge this run,
We
Schala.
kinda are! So Larudo is one of the game's bonus bosses. There are several bonus bosses in Haven. Some of which are okay. Like the frog... I forget what the name of the frog boss is. Frog boss is kind of okay. And then you have, like, ones like Larudo and Beru Beru.
And they are really, really, really not okay.
Beru Beru's more just like a slog. Because it has so much HP.
Yeah, it's like it's not, if I remember well, it's not like such a tricky fight, it's just a really long
It's
fight.
so long.
Yeah.
And you have to, like, even on, like, reduced difficulty, you have to be shielding. So it's like a real, like, test to stamina. But anyway, the important thing is that we did it. We found the last piece of the nest. Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
So now we get to repair the nest.
Whee!
So like,
Prepare for literal minutes of cutscenes.
Yes, we're going to skip through all of these, which is too bad because these are some of the best cutscenes in the game.
Yep.
They are.
They are very cute and very sweet.
While we are repairing, can I jump in for a moment? then?
Sure,
While
please.
While we
Did you
set
hear
up
that?
set up for the end game here, I would just love to point out a quick couple of things. First of all, that once again we would like to thank our longtime sponsor of Indiethon, Team 17, who has supported every marathon we have done. For this event, they have given us 19 games in 4 packs to give to lucky donors. And for more info on our prizes, you can see the commands being automatically input, but also please say !prizes in chat. Team 17 is an independent game studio based in the United Kingdom and is responsible for some of the finest games out there, from the Worms franchise to the Escapists. They have also published many games alongside other indie developers such as Yoku's Island Express, Overcooked, Timesia, and many more. For more information, check out their website at team17.com. I also, if I can get away with it while we're still in the repair, want to point out our upcoming incentive open for Rain World Downpour. That is Dance to Death, which is the description. I am not deeply familiar with Rain World, but cause a character to break dance on our body as we die to the torrential rain. I'm very interested in what that could possibly entail. So be sure to get your donations in for that.
All right.
I'm sorry, that was intense.
That was intense. Good job. All right. Oh, I'm going to switch to you. She might be able to get this.
We can't go down
Yeah.
that way.
Ah, she got it. Good job.
Oh, GGU.
So what happened there is we just skipped an entire sequence having to climb all the way down this volcano. There's supposed to be an invisible wall there to stop you. Okay, I did get you. Confident you. Okay, great. And, we just ignore it. There's a few cracks in it. Anyway, we have been locked into the good ending now. Hooray!
Yeah.
So, for the final bit of, Haven, I like how Haven's ending sequence is not like a boss fight. It is instead, you have to play as Kanyu as they are literally cutting Source off from the rest of the apiary. And the thing is, it's not something that comes without sacrifice. So as you can see, Kay got hurt protecting you. Who gets hurt is determined by the confidence system, which is a whole game-wide thing based on... Hello?
Switching to
Oh, I got stuck in that cutscene. So basically, there's a whole game-long spanning sequence with the choices that we've made. And, this is where they kind of come in at the end. Also, Bloop, I've been trying to be faster about the ending. So, you thought I was playing risky before.
No, you're not gonna do that, will you?
I'll play... No, I'm not. I am at least setting up the camera.
Okay.
I'm not trying to both move and do camera at the same time. Which I know is kind of
Okay.
like the next step in the process.
Yeah, but I mean, it's such a risky one
It's
because
so risky.
so basically we are climbing from we're climbing steps by steps, so we can, as Schala said, cut the different wires, and the flow threads here are extremely tricky. It's really easy to miss it, and if you miss one of them, you will fall down back to the beginning of the whole thing. So it's a straight 1 to 2 minute time loss. So yeah, that's something we don't want to do.
Be careful not to burn your hands.
Yeah, like I said, you can do this sequence like even faster than I'm doing it. And I'm still doing this faster than I used to. Also, to our wonderful tech crew, time is going to be coming up soon. I will call out when that happens. It happens when we cut the very last flow thread. So we're coming right on up on it. I have to just kind of make my way to this final platform. Alright, here we go. We have to do our little cool girl walk. Time! Whew.
Easy.
Okay. Well, at least according to my timer, that was still a low 52.
Lovely. It's
Okay.
a really good time.
Even with all the little hiccups on it. But
Yep.
we did it! Our girls are safe. Uh, Source is now it's an interesting choice they have to make because they have to basically kind of cut themselves off from civilization as they know it in order to make sure that no one's going to come and get them. So I like that Haven kind of does emphasize that this was not an easy choice. This was a tough choice that K and you made.
Yeah. Like
No
as,
matter. Go ahead, Bloop. Sorry.
I was about to say, as much as this ending is considered the good ending, it's still super bittersweet. And I just love that they made the choice of not going through the ultimate good ending.
Yeah,
It's a bold choice, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead. I'm always make sure to put some extra time on my estimates so that we can very quickly do the epilogue. So I'm going to sort of breeze through it. Though I'm going to switch to K. I always like K to do this. So.
What now?
Do you see what I'm seeing?
Also, hey, it's Helga friend.
Yay!
While we epilogue, tell the people where they can find you and tell us what shoutouts you'd like to give to this corner of the indie gaming community.
I'm SchalaKitty. I'm trying to do better about streaming to my own personal stream, which is SchalaKitty at twitch.tv. You also can find me on Twitter sometimes. The big thing I want to do is I want to give lots of love to my amazing couch, this wonderful marathon for letting me show. So here you go. Here's a big old heart for y'all.
Aw.
Well, it looks much
So,
prettier this way.
Happy Bloop, please let the folks know where they can find y'all.
Well, Happy, go
Go ahead,
first.
Bloop.
No,
okay,
go
I can go first. So, I stream on twitch.tv/HappyBearLives, and yeah, we do a lot of fun stuff over there. I've also picked up Haven speedrunning recently, and I have been really enjoying it. So we're kind of focusing on that on the channel right now. But I also have a YouTube channel where I post some videos about speedrunning and speedrunners, and you can just find me by typing Happy Bear, or if that doesn't work, Happy Bear Speedrun, and you should find me. But yeah, I just want to shout out Bloop for being a great friend, and Schala for being an amazing mentor and teacher with helping me to learn this game and the speedrun, and I still fondly remember last September, Schala, when you got me into this game with that Lady Arcaders showcase, and that was a really neat night for me, and I'm really grateful that I'm in this community now.
Aw. Bloop, do you want to go before or after we give the people what they really want?
I'll go for what people really want.
It's time for Oink!
Come
Whee!
on, Oink. Roll over. Hey.
I adore this 1,000-yard stare. This empty-headed little man.
We'll never
I love how
tricks.
clueless Oinks looks.
That's because
Like,
he's too
what's
clever.
going on?
He
I
knows
don't
very well
care.
he doesn't
Pet
need to do
me.
anything but some scratchings.
He's the best.
Yay!
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bloop, because I'm going to be mashing through the
Yes.
through the dinner.
The end. Yeah. So I've been doing a great job of not being able to stream on my Twitch channel lately. You can still find me on twitch.tv/blooper if you wish to. Maybe at some point I will just smash the start streaming button. Else, I'm mainly on Twitter when it comes to social medias, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wait.
And
Talk
yeah.
about the amazing community that you run of French speedrunners.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I mean, it to me was out of the thing. Yeah, we like with a bunch of friends. So as I said, I'm French, and we opened a new, let's say, a new organization, like crew of some sort, which emphasize the ladies and non-binary speedrunners in the French-speaking community. This is called Fast and Fabulous. You can find us on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Fast and Fabs. And we are working on what to do next. Obviously, the stream is mainly in French, but if you are a French speaker or if the cause speaks to you, please feel free to join us. We'll love to have you around. You can also find us obviously on Twitter, how is that called? Instagram, YouTube, and
so many
stuff.
places. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's the ending, and we have to.
Oui.
I am a big fan of you always have to end Haven on the smooch. So thank you all so much for having us. It has been a absolutely amazing time. I was glad to share this game with all of y'all. And one last thing, hey, if you liked this game and you thought it looked cool, it is $10 on Steam right now. It is absolutely worth your $10.
Buy it.
Still
Summer
at
sale at Indies.
Yes.
Powerful combo.
So yes, please play Haven. There you go. That's what we'll leave it on. Please play Haven.
Oui.
But thank you all so much, and we will. Bloop, what was our final spicy count?
4.
4. Okay, so we each owe $20.
Perfect.
So we'll be putting those donations in after we're all squared away. But thank you all so much, and please keep enjoying the marathon.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Schala, Happy, and Bloop. We're gonna go to an intermission, and we will be back in a little bit with some Helpless. So don't go anywhere. Thanks, everyone.